What's good, everybody? It's your boy Deeloc, and you're watching Blasted.
I'm from a hood that's always cracking. Bottles in the street, they out the back it. Rolling up my death, it's dark, you never find me lacking. Out the 9-5, local staying blasted. Mama's for the farm, I be the reason that I'm rapping. Got me dripping, homie, I be with the real low. Strapping up the deal, don't stepping if you think so. They don't wanna shit, these haters looking real slow. Out the deuces for the fire where they get smoked.
I was born in Pico Rivera, California. I went to Whittier High School starting off, and then after that, I went ahead and went to El Rancho High School in Pico Rivera, and then honestly, high school just wasn't for me. So from there on, I went to Sierra Vista. That was the last school I tried, and then after that, man, I just decided school wasn't for me. You know, I guess I was pretty good. You know, typical. You know, just hanging around like taggers and stuff. Like that's what really was cracking at the time. You know, at least when I was in high school, tagging. Stuff like that. So I was cool. I was a good kid. So during high school, once I fell out, I actually ended up having a daughter at the age of 15 years old, bro. Yeah, I had my first daughter at the age of 15. So then I had to get a job, man. Yeah, I had to get a job and put food on the table for my little baby. So from there, my first job, I believe, I want to say it was McDonald's, bro. Yeah, real talk. My first job was McDonald's, man. Honestly, man, I didn't know I wanted to be a tattoo artist till when I was 18 and I went and got my first tattoo. Because before that, honestly, like, besides McDonald's, man, like, I just thought, like I'm telling you, like, the way money is now, I appreciate it now. Like, back then, I was like, man, $200 check for McDonald's. Oh, this is a lot of money, man. Where we going? Now I'm like, $200, man, we blow that in a day. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, so when I was 18 years old, I went to a shop and I got a tattoo. It was one of my very first real tattoos, because before then, I was already doing all these little hand stuff, like little finger bangers on my own, like, you know, just little stuff. So when I went there to get that tattoo, I remember walking in the shop, just seeing a bunch of homies all surrounded with each other, you know, like having a good time, doing dope ass tattoos, fucking just looking like they're chilling, like not stressing at all, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, that's pretty dope, you know? So after I got my tattoo that night, I went home and I was like, man, like that's just dope as hell, like that's dope. And before that, I was really drawing and stuff, you know, just doing little tats on my hand and stuff, but never to take it that seriously, you know? So once I went home that night, I was like, nah, man, I'm going to look into this. I'm going to see what's good, you know? So, yeah, that's how that started. The research I was doing at the time, man, besides already knowing, like, little shops around my area, like, of where people were working and stuff, I would follow guys on social media, you know, and just try to, like, look at that work and see, okay, what can I do, you know? And honestly, I would try to do it myself out of my house, and I was tattooing out of my house. I was tattooing people. I made a whole IG page. And honestly, man, believe it or not, people would come to your house to get tattoos, man. Like, it's unfortunate to say now that I know the quality of work, but it's like, man, people will show up to a random person's house for some cheap tattoos, and I'm like, man, that's crazy to think that people were coming to my house back in the day, bro. Like, they didn't know who I was, nothing. When I started doing research about any tattoo guns at all, like, I remember the Cheyenne Hawk Pen. That was one that I always wanted to get, and that was a good brand that I knew of only at the time. And so after seeing that, I remember going on eBay and ordering a Hawk Pen that was literally the same exact style, but it wasn't the actual Cheyenne Hawk brand. It was just a cheap brand. Maybe it was like a $30 machine. And I ordered it, man, and honestly, believe it or not, you could do a good tattoo with cheap machines, but it's just the fact that if that machine runs out, then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how I got into that. I just started looking them up online, seeing what artists were using what. And but honestly, man, now that I know about machines, it's just all about your hand and your technique. You know what I mean? Like, they have name brand machines, a machine named after artists, and everybody wants to jump on it now. It's like, nah, it's good. I was tattooing out of my house for at least 2 years, bro. Yeah, for at least 2 years, I was tattooing out of my house. I was gaining maybe just a little bit of progress, but not that much. I didn't know how to use mags at the time. I would only use brown liners to shade and everything. So unfortunately, I was putting my clients through extra pain, you know what I mean? Oh, so yeah, so 2 years. I was tattooing on my pad for 2 years, and after that, man, that's when I just started following different artists on Instagram. One of the artists was my boy, somewhat of a mentor, Sneaky G. That was one of my boys right there. Following him on Instagram, and other artists too, like Frank 310, just other guys, that are really, really up there right now. And I just remember being like, damn, these guys are traveling. They're taking their family places. And I'm like, I'm right here busting my ass in a warehouse, man. Fucking not happy and shit. I'm like, man, I gotta get out of this. I gotta do this now. So that's when I finally made the decision to go ahead and get started with the tattooing. And I tried hitting up just different shops around my area, for apprenticeships. But unfortunately, the apprenticeships weren't really working out at the first couple shops I went to. It wasn't how I thought it was going to be. But it was all good, man. I made it work. And then during that time, right when I was about to like just take it full time, my daughter, who was maybe not even 2 years old at the time, she got in a bad accident, man. She ended up falling on her scooter that we had got her, like a little baby scooter. And unfortunately, she became blind in her left eye. So that's why one of my apprentices wasn't working out. My apprenticeships wasn't working out at the time because the shop I was at, they were like, nah, bro, like, we don't care what happened. If you can't be here, like, you can't come back. Like, they're strict, you know what I mean? So I was just like, what? Like, I got my daughter that just got injured. So it was all good, bro. I took what I learned from there, fortunately, and took it back to my house. And honestly, the work did progress just a bit. And like I mentioned before, I remember following an artist named Sneaks, right? So one day this fool posts, he's like, yo, I'm putting a team together. I'm putting a couple guys together that I want to come and just bring in and just bring around, and just get a feel for everything and create somewhat of a, maybe not a team, but maybe just more of like an independent artist. He wants people to be independent. So I thought, man, that was dope as hell. I hit him up. I'm like, man, this guy's not gonna notice me. I got like 400 followers. This guy's like at 80K and shit. I'm like, 2 weeks later, man, I get a DM and he's just like, bro, slide through. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I ended up coming, and this is when we had our first shop, like in the front over there. And I rolled through, and he basically tells me, hey, man, I see the potential in your work from your Instagram already. You seem like cool people. Long story short, I'll bring you in. I'll give you 3 weeks to get good. I could take a horse to the water, but I can't make the horse drink the water. So, not to sound like a dick, but it's all business. So if I don't see no progression, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. So that right there, I was like, man, I'm taking this opportunity, because if I don't, like, I'm never going to, like, be a tattoo artist, because I was already working at a warehouse and doing tattoos on my day off at the pad. So I was like, nah, man, I got to make this shit work. Like, this is not it, It's either all in or I'm not all in at all, you know what I mean? So I just fucking decided to go all in and come right here. And, yeah, man, been right here since. Bro, honestly, I actually had a really good job, bro. I worked for the union. I was at Cisco Foods, bro. Yeah, I was at Cisco Foods. I was doing order selecting. I was in the warehouse freezer. We're freaking selecting, like, frozen meats, man. Hey, for real, shout out to my homies at Cisco, still putting it down. For real, I got to say that, dog. Like, I give it to people that are really doing that hard labor for real. Like, that shit is no fucking joke. Like, we're slaving it for real. Like, so, yeah, man. So I was doing that. I was making good money, man. I think for the 3 years that I was there, I maybe was at like 40 or maybe 30 an hour, something like that. But still, it was good money for me, I was getting paid weekly. But, man, I'm telling you, just that hard labor, not seeing my family when I wanted, having people tell me, like, what to do, basically, like, that shit was just not for me. And I got to a point where I was just like, man, honestly, like, I didn't even care about the money no more, honestly. Like, it sounds fucking crazy, but it got to the point where I did not even care about the money. I was calling off every single day, and I was getting fucking, like, $200 for the week just because I showed up, like, one day, you know what I mean? And because I was here doing free tattoos, bro, like, free tattoos. That's how dedicated I was. And honestly, I wasn't tripping on it because I knew that I would get, like, the, the unemployment or whatever, like, if they fucking fired me or whatever. So, yeah, man, I was here fucking busting ass doing free tattoos. If it wasn't a free tattoo, it was like $100 quarter sleeve, just trying to get better. And each tattoo I would do, you know, like whoever was here helping me, like my boy, I would send it to him and be like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I was getting that picky with it because I didn't want to put out work that I thought was good. And then, you know, people be like, dog, what is that? You know, a lot of people, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask, you know, especially if you got somebody right there. Like, if they're your boy, if they're your real one, they're going to tell you, like, hey, dog, don't post that. Like, you know what I mean? Let's just wait on that. Honestly, man, there's bread out there for everybody, bro, for real. Like, if honestly, like, that's just facts, bro. Like, there could be right now in LA, like, the tattoo game is crazy. Like, everybody is a black and gray artist now, you know? So now it's like, but honestly, bro, like, there's bread out there for everybody. It's all about just staying in your own lane and focusing on your own lane. If you're too worried about comparing yourself to that guy or comparing yourself to what they're doing, like, you're going to end up falling off for what you need to be doing. And that's just staying in your lane, focusing on your work, and try to perfect it every day, dog. And eventually you're going to have your own style, your own lane. People are going to be like, damn, that's, you know. When I started tattooing, I was doing more just like little bangers, you know. I was pretty much taking anything that people would come in and ask for. And then eventually I started moving into bigger pieces like roses, skulls, stuff like that, so that way I could get better, yeah. Honestly, bro, like, believe it or not, and it may sound selfish, but like, I didn't think it would take that long. And I would ask like guys that I was working with at the time, like, hey, bro, like, how long did it take for you to reach 10K on Instagram? Or how long did it take for you to actually get a hang of things? And guys would tell me, bro, it took me like a year or 2 years. I'm like, for real? Like, and that's dead ass what it took me, bro. Like, it took me like 2-3 years to actually to get comfortable and to get decent, I would say, you know, to get decent. Because, I mean, I love my work and I love the work I put on my clients and stuff, but you can always get better no matter what, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I would say a few years into it here, and then, honestly, like, yeah, man, just because right here, like, we're all about quality, you know what I mean? We're just focusing on the quality, and we really don't, like, settle for less. Like, if I put my machine down and I already put all my machine stuff away and I already broke down for the night, and if I'm taking pictures of a tattoo and I see and I just see the smallest thing, I'll set back up real quick. Like, I don't care. I'll set back up just to hit that one spot and just make sure it's cool, you know? Oh, yeah, man. I'm, like, super, like, anal about that, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. There'll be times where you put the stencil on, you'll get it on the first shot, and it's like, damn, hell yeah, I did it, you know? But, nah, man, there's a lot of times where, you know, you just got to take it off and do it right, you know what I mean? Like, I know there's a lot of artists out there that they know what the process is of putting the stencil on and taking it off. So a lot of times if they don't like how it laid out, they'll just fix it with the marker or say, I'll fix it, you know, when we get there. Like, nah, man, just throw a little alcohol in that bitch, a little green soap, take the stencil off and put it back on, people, please. Put it back on, like, for real. Like, so when I first got in here, it was more like, well, bro, I already see like what you're capable of, so I don't think you really need that apprenticeship type of deal. But I feel like you do need somebody to be a little bit strict with you and give you that constructive criticism, you know? So think of it as the apprenticeship, but just without like having to run and go be a bitch and get food and do what they say type thing. It's more like just taking criticism when needed, you know? And I thought that was dope, bro. So once I got in here, that's what it was, man. And I was just getting criticized every tattoo I did, but it made me better, bro. It made me better to the point where, like, literally, I'm not really getting criticized that more. If anything, I'm asking people to criticize my work now. You know what I mean? And I think that's dope. Yeah, I would consider myself to be a black and gray realism artist for sure. And what do you specialize in? Honestly, I specialize in, right now, I specialize pretty much just in anything. Anything. I would like to say anything for real because I'm taking everything right now. I'm taking portraits. I'm taking quarter sleeves. You know what I mean? But one thing I would say I'm staying away from right now is maybe just lettering, just so I could focus a lot on my realism. You know what I mean? Yeah, just realism. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody comes in and they want lettering with the rose or something, I'll do it. But if it's just strictly lettering, I'll try to stay away just because I'm trying to keep my focus on realism right now. Honestly, bro, like, I feel like this is where a lot of people, like, are missing it, man. Like, so for me personally, what I'll do is I'll go and I'll search up an artist that I look up to the most, really, or that I look up to their work the most, at least, right? Most likely, when you get somebody that's going to want a tattoo, it's going to be something that you've seen before, you know, or something that you've seen somebody tattoo before. So when I get a piece in, I'll go and I'll be like, okay, I'm doing that today. let me look one up that looks really, really dope, you know, something that looks really, really good. And I'll look one up, I'll find it, and I won't try to copy it maybe to the T. It's still going to have my style no matter what because everybody's their own artist, you know? But I would copy it to the point where I'm not second-guessing myself. Like, do I need to put this tone here? Do I need to put that line there? I'm not second-guessing nothing, just focusing straight on what I see and putting it on the skin. And I feel like if you do that, that'll help you a lot, bro. That's a little secret right there for sure. First and foremost, like, if you're going to go for it, man. Step all into it. Don't worry about what nobody says. Don't let nobody hold you back, and just give it your all and always have faith in yourself, man. You got to believe that you're going to do it to make it happen. And I would say it's all about just believing in yourself, man, and actually doing it, you know. Start tattooing. Like, I hear people say all the time, like, oh, don't do that. Go get an apprenticeship. Man, where did I start? You know, where did all these other artists that are up there now that we look up to, you think they started at a perfect apprenticeship? No, man. They were tattooing their homies, tattooing themselves. So I say, man, if you're going to start, go out there and tattoo. Start practicing on people. Start practicing on your homies. Start practicing on your friends. And, of course, don't go out there and be dumb with it. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of artists now that you can reach out to or look up. And, you know, you could get decent if you give it your all. I could say it any time, man. Anybody could do this. Anybody could do anything if you just give it your all. You know what I mean? One of my goals this year is to finish up an investment property that me and my wife just got. Finish that up, turn it into Airbnb. And as far as tattooing goes, man, just get better, man. Get better. I'm really focusing on my portraits this year. Last year, I turned down a lot of portraits, man. People were just hitting me left and right. I want a portrait of my mom, a portrait of my dad, whatever it is, son, daughter. And I would just turn it down. But this year, man, I'm really focusing on my portraits. Like, I'm going to kill it, bro. Like, for real. Like, I'm going to really give it my all. And that's one of my goals that I'm going to look into this year, just taking on every portrait that's thrown at me for sure. Yeah. So this one right here is your Dodger Stadium, man. You got the Dodger Stadium with some LA buildings in the background, and then you got the freeway leading right into the stadium right there. The way I do it with all of my clients when they come through, just so that way everybody has a better idea of what they're getting into or what they want, is when my client comes through, I'll take a picture of the area where we're putting the design. I'll upload it to my iPad, and then I'll take it to my Procreate, take the whole design, and basically just lay it out on their arm, you know what I mean? Section by section. So I took the whole Dodger Stadium just by itself, laid the image right there. Then I got some background buildings, laid them in the background like that, edited it, erased the parts that I needed to erase, and then they're all three different images all together just in one piece, pretty much. Yeah, man, honestly, like, this was a big deal for me because, like, throughout my whole career, like, I've always had trouble doing, like, buildings, you know? Like, I've always had trouble doing them. So this day, man, I was like, nah, man, today I'm not failing, man. I'm getting there. I'm going to do this. The most challenging part about this tattoo, I would say for me, is getting, like, the names on the freeway signs, man. That was very challenging. Just the small little details in it, you know? Just actually realizing that for the small stuff like that, you just got to take your time. No matter if it feels like you're taking 3 hours on just one section like that, because at the end of the night, when you're done with your whole piece, little stuff like that is going to count, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I would say just the small stuff, like the small little bushes, the writing on the freeway sign, and just maybe like the little windows in the buildings. Detail all in general, man. It's hard. This piece right here took us about 11 hours, bro. 11 hours, one session, yep. It went a little bit above the elbow, too. All the way from the wrist to above the elbow, bro. Yeah, 11 hours, man. Yeah, bro, for real. People always trip out when they come here and they get tattooed by me. They're like, man, I got this tattoo in 4 hours. And then when they leave here, they're like, dang, that really took 8 hours. I'm like, look at the difference between your 4-hour tattoo and your 8-hour tattoo. You know what I mean? Like, it matters, bro. Always important to take your time. Like, of course, like, there's artists that have been working years and years and years, and their speed just comes, you know, naturally, and that's fine. But, like, other people, I feel like they try to rush here. They feel like, oh, my client's thinking I'm taking too long. Like, man, that don't matter. They're paying for your time. They're paying for you to put some good artwork on them, so make sure you do that, you know? Honestly, bro, like, this really was one of those ones that I was, like, super, super proud of, bro. Like, super proud of. Of course, like, there's always little things that I would do different next time. Maybe I would, Maybe I would do something different, like add a helicopter in there just to give it a little extra, give it a little extra, little oomph to the piece, But other than that, man, like I feel like I'm very happy with this one, no doubt. Today I was using the FK Irons, what is it? The Flux. Yeah, the new one they just came out with. Honestly, I just been on it for like the past 4 months, maybe, just because it's the wireless one, so I wanted to try it out. My boy Jerry that comes through, the supply guy, shout out Jerry. He hooked it up with it, and so I was like, man, why not? I'll try it out. Honestly, bro, I like it, man. It really does. Having that arm room really does make a difference, bro. It really does. Like, I didn't think it would make that much of a difference. I'm like, man, I got the hawk pen. I'm doing the same job as you guys. But, nah, man, having that arm room, that freedom, it really does make a difference, Like, if you need to just move your arm a certain way or even stand up and move a certain way, you don't got to worry about the wire dragging on the chair or nothing like that. Right now, I'm using the quadrant cartridges. Yeah, if I'm doing like faces and stuff, I try to use like curve mags, just to get the smoother tones in there. I try to stay away from my liner as much as possible unless I really, really need it, because I feel like if I use my liner a lot, it takes away from the realism, But if we need to get a crispy spot like the eyes or something like that, I'm definitely pulling the liner out. I mean, honestly, man, I like to use the right size that's just for the job, Like, I don't really have a specific needle set, like, I know there's a lot of people that they're like, oh, I can make this work with the 13 mag, or I can make this work with the all 7 mag. Like, man, just use the needle that's going to get the job done. Like, don't try to do no extra stuff. I know it's fun and stuff that you could pull it off, but you know what I mean? Just do it right, use the right needle. So I just try to use the needles that I need for the area. If I'm doing, like, for instance, today, a big side of a face, I'll use a big curved mag just to make sure it's all smooth and smoothing things up a little bit. If I'm using a smaller area, I'll switch it over to like a 7 or a 9, something like that. Dynamic ink. Yeah, dynamic ink, triple black. I like the triple black. I don't know, I just feel like dynamic is good, bro. Like, I've seen it healed. I've seen my work healed, when it comes back, and no issues. I've tried using maybe one more other ink. I forgot what it was called. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of other inks just besides dynamic. So I'm looking for a sponsorship. Tap in, you know what I mean? For real, hit me up, you know what I mean? I'm your boy Deeloc looking for that sponsorship, I'm ready, but yeah, man. Yeah, I was using white. Star Bright white. That's like the best white to use in the game, man. It's super bright. Packs right in there, nice and bright. And you're chilling, man. Star Bright. They don't call it Star Bright for nothing, Shoot, honestly, man, just try to find the right group of people to be around, honestly, especially like nowadays with the industry. Just try to find the right group of people to be around. Try to surround yourself with artists that are gonna actually be there to help you and guide you, you know what I mean? And just like I said, man, take advantage of looking up other artists and looking at their work and try to duplicate that with your own with what you're trying to do, and just try to get better that way. That's like a big advantage right there. That was a big game changer for me. Just looking at other people's work and try to not copy it the same exactly, but just, so that way you're not second guessing, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, I see a lot of these artists out there and they're doing a Jesus piece or a Virgin Mary face, and they're second guessing it because they're going based off the reference. And that's fine. You're supposed to go based off the reference, but only until you know what you're doing yourself, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's a big game changer. Yeah, add your own little touch to it, because like at the end of the day, like I feel like you could try to copy anybody's style. Like, people, I don't know if people try to copy my style. I could try to copy anybody's style, but I'll never be able to copy anybody's style. Everybody's always gonna have their own style. Maybe you'll have a similarity to somebody's, but nah, you're always gonna have your own style for sure. Let's say in the industry, artists that I look up to, for sure, my boy Sneaky G, Frank 310, Vito, he's dope. Who else? Let's see. Chicano Ace is real dope. And I would just say, like, those are maybe like the top ones right now. Of course, there's other ones that are dope out there too, but just as far as the ones that I'm looking at right now, just to maybe get similar to or looking up to, those are the ones, So putting all those 4 guys together and try to make it my own, let's see what happens, you know what I mean? That'd be dope. I've been tatted by my boy Scrappy Tattoos. I've been tatted by my boy Sneaky G. I've been tatted by I actually got my whole back done and by 4 artists, bro, in one session. Yeah, it was an experience, man. It was crazy, dude. I did not know what I was getting myself into, for real. Honestly, I would like to get work from Frank, bro. That fool is hard, man. He's dope, bro. He's really dope. Like, that fool is one guy that I looked up to his work. I've even went on his page, man, and I'm like, I'll scroll all the way down to like 2012. I'm like, damn, this guy's still good. Like, what the hell? It's crazy, bro. So I feel like he has really, really good, clean work. I would like to get tatted by him for sure. Honestly, I've have guys hit me up, man. Like, just, you know, guys hitting me up, asking me if what shop I work at so they could come here and or if guys could come watch me and stuff like that. And you know, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm like, I look at these messages and I'm like, man, I'm nobody. Like, what am I supposed to teach you? But I'm like, you know, I just try to give them the best advice that I could, you know, over messages, of course, you know, and then eventually later on, you know, when I'm ready, I'll be able to take somebody in and guide them and show them the right way, you know. Shoot, besides portraits, I would say just more like complete sleeves and like chest pieces, you know, like people that are gonna keep coming back. Like, I do have clients that come back, but I mean like a client that's just gonna, hey man, let's knock a whole sleeve out 4 days back to back, you know what I mean? And just somebody, so that way I can have somebody to take with me in conventions, because I'm gonna start doing conventions this year. I did my first one 2 months ago in Arizona. That was dope. So when I start doing these conventions, I want to be able to take a canvas with me. I think that'd be tight. Instagram and my assistant's phone number for sure. My assistant's phone number is 562-329-2599. You could text her, call her, hit her up, let her know what you're looking to get, location of your tattoo, and she'll get back to you guys ASAP. Like, she's on it. If she doesn't pick up the phone or answer your text, you could hit her up on my appointment page on my Instagram. It's in the link in my bio. Deeloc Inc. appointments. Deeloc_Inc. Honestly, man, I only book my appointments I only book it like a month out, bro. Like, I don't like to book like too far out. One, because I've noticed like a lot of people tend to like either be like, man, I really want to spend this money now, you know? Like, so you gotta just keep it, I like to keep it close. I don't like to book too far out. So like right now we're in late January. I would say I'm booking for March now. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. Yeah, trying to, man, you know? It's a blessing. Right now, we're located in Montebello, California. We have a private studio right here, right on Whittier Boulevard. Shoot, first and foremost, you got to thank God, man. Like, for real, like, God does great things, man. So I want to thank God. I want to thank my family. Thank my boy Sneaky for bringing me on board, taking me out the pad, because, you know, he gave me an opportunity and I took advantage of it. And just thank all my clients that have continued to keep me busy and continue to come through and get good quality work. Besides everybody in my family, man, and that's it. Nah, that's pretty much it. I just said, you know, yeah, that's it. All right, guys, so thank you for having me, man. You guys can always find me at Deeloc_Inc. or at Deeloc Inc. appointments. You can hit up my assistant at 562-329-2599. And she'll get back to you guys ASAP with all the correct info you need. You guys already know. Thank you for watching Blasted. Your boy Deeloc. Let's go.
Desde morrillo siempre listo para el desmadre, y aquí chambeando con la tinta en arranque. Desde el Bayuco a Califas el pase, aquí rifando conectado pa' que atranque. El vato loco siempre viene bien machín, es el don de Laureles que ya viene por allí. Atento a la letra que ya nunca tiene fin, grafitero de mi barrio del estilo ascendí. Matando el micrófono aquí tirando rima, siguen rifando mis locos de la esquina. Ando bien trucha con fama en la tarima, original de Laureles pa' mi pica. Original de Laureles seguiré. Well, you could tell that I'm an OG. From my hood I put it on